He's also the chair of the Regional Recycling Advisory Committee. He's a big shot in Public Works, Eric Wolff.
All right, good morning, everybody. Yep, just if it looks like I'm reading off these slides, that's because I am. I'm not exactly familiar with this, but familiar with the programs. Before I start talking about SB 1383 and all the different laws and requirements and what we're doing to get the public, I do want to recognize individual action from one of our staff members, Steve Y., who set up an on-site composting program here at the COC. He involved some of the other departments. Way before SB 1383, I think just certainly not the whole campus, our section, a few other departments, and last year we diverted 800 pounds of food waste, made it into compost, got the landscapers to drop some browns to make it. So I just want to say that even before those laws were there, people can still make a difference just working with the ones they know. So anyways, as Rick mentioned, my name's Eric Wolff. I'm one of the program coordinators here at the County of San Diego. And today I'm going to be talking to you about how the county responded to SB 1383 and some of the new regulations and laws. Thank you. So this presentation will cover several aspects of the program, starting with kind of an organics overview, how the county addressed the changes from SB 1383, our compliance strategies, and some of the resources and outreach materials that we give out to the public and businesses. So why are we working towards this goal? Well, currently the largest waste stream in California is organics. Well over a third of all materials that are still going into the landfill are organics. And I think, as a lot of us know, this creates a significant amount of methane. So keeping those materials out of the landfill benefits everyone, especially people who live close to landfills. And within this food stream, food waste plays probably the largest role. Over 6 million tons of food waste are going into California landfills every year. And at the same time, according to the San Diego Hunger Coalition, 1 in 3 San Diegans are food insecure. So we're disposing of a lot of perfectly edible food that could help people in need. So to achieve compliance with SB 1383, we have several new programs and requirements which were implemented, including updating our solid waste ordinance so that we could sort of solidify what the state has required, and updating our franchise agreements. Obviously, our franchise waste haulers are the ones who are going to be out on the front line collecting these materials. Residents and businesses are required to divert food scraps and other organic materials, and haulers are required to recycle these materials as per their agreement with us. They also need to guarantee that they have capacity to do that. So in response to this, private industry has responded. They've been building new facilities. They've been expanding compost facilities. They've opened up anaerobic digestion facilities. So while that probably wouldn't have happened without the law to back it up and get those feedstocks. So first, you got to figure out, put the horse in front of the cart, but they have responded now that they know that those materials are going to be coming to them. We also worked with our planning and development services to update our organics zoning ordinance to make it easier for farms to accept compost and materials from off-site. And so these are the recycling requirements for designated materials. Each resident business must separate these materials and arrange for recycling and processing. However, there are some waivers for special cases. The state does allow waivers from SB 1383. So the list of designated organic materials was expanded to include green materials for all generators, which includes wood, lumber, food waste, and food soiled paper. We do have an exemption, which is allowed under SB 1383 for sparsely populated areas. So a lot of the backcountry of the county has a lot of distances. Doesn't necessarily make sense to drive that far to pick up very small amount of materials. So we did apply for that exemption. It's good for 5 years for those materials out there. But they're only exempt from the food waste and the food soiled paper. They still have to recycle other organic materials. So residents and businesses have several compliance options, and the vast majority choose to use a three-stream collection system from a franchise hauler. We also have certified recyclable materials collectors, which are collectors that can get a certification from the county to only collect recyclables. It is limited to 1,000 tons per year. Additional options are available, including self-hauling, where you can bring the materials to a facility that will accept them, and as I mentioned, some waivers in special cases, which I'll talk about a little bit here on the next slide. So single-family, multifamily, and commercial generators may be eligible to apply for waivers for some or all of the recycling requirements presented here. These waivers are controlled by state and local laws and require the generator to submit an application with supporting documentation. We will then review those applications and determine if they're eligible. So there's 3 types of waivers offered for commercial generators, but just one for single family, and that's on-site management. And then again, the sparse residents are exempt from certain things. So registration with the county is required, and if you're a self-hauler, you are required to send in your receipts to show that you recycled those materials on an annual basis. So among some of the SB 1383 commercial business requirements, we have Tier 1 and Tier 2 edible food waste generators. And to kind of get to those, we've developed both a regional approach and then sort of a local report. So regionally, we conducted meetings with various organizations to discuss successes and challenges with SB 1383, as well as the state requirements and the county implementation and enforcement strategies. There was also a collaboration with Palomar College to map out efficient food recovery pathways through San Diego Regional Food Systems GIS map. As the county, we offer outreach and education, including providing food waste recovery tools, applications such as Copia and Too Good to Go. We host capacity planning discussions connecting Tier 1 and 2 generators with food recovery organizations based off of capacity knowledge, locality, and their donation types. So we're prioritizing preventing food waste using the wasted food scale, which starts with food waste prevention first, then donation, feeding animals, and finally composting or processing what's left over, ideally. We offer many resources to our residents and businesses to aid in their recycling efforts, which are linked throughout this slide. We offer technical assistance to food facilities, have created a food donation guide in collaboration with the Department of Environmental Health and Quality and Feeding America San Diego. More resources currently in development include educational videos targeting SB 1383 requirements, as well as creating guides for Tier 1 and Tier 2 facilities according to their sector type. So to increase diversion, multifamily and commercial sectors in densely populated areas must achieve a minimum recycling and organics diversion service level ratio of 35%. So we want to make sure, first step is, you got to make sure that they have the service. You know, all the education in the world's not going to work if they don't have the bin space available. We want to make sure that they have that, that minimum level. Additionally, multifamily complexes are required to implement a minimum weekly service equivalent to 20 gallons of recycling and 5 gallons of organics per unit. So the county provides a number of ways to guide our businesses and residents into compliance. So for commercial multifamily, we offer educational and technical assistance. We'll do site visits, we'll do door knocking, we'll provide you bags that have what's recyclable on the side of them. We also have free resources such as signage for your dumpster enclosure, signages for mailbox areas, again, door-to-door outreach, and for single-family residents, we have educational flyers and information through our county website. We also promote free workshops for the community, including Fix-It clinics and master composting classes. Virtual assistance is also offered to all constituents through our recycling phone number and email, and any violations that are occurring now that SB 1383 is in its 2024 phase will be in alignment with state law. So as a couple of examples of our outreach efforts to promote the new programs, we sent a newsletter to all unincorporated properties. So we worked with the company, put together an informational packet, sent it to everybody. This includes information on the new requirements, programs, and how to participate. We have turned portions of this newsletter into social media posts and is also available on our website and by clicking at the link at the top of this page. We direct mail outreach to every unincorporated address annually, alternating between a full-length newsletter like this one and then just a sort of handout that's basically how to recycle. So these are some examples of our educational guides and flyers we provide in multiple languages on both our website and in print. Social media is also a big presence in a lot of people's lives. I've listed here some of our social media accounts. We are focused on continually educating our community on ways to be more green, making it easier for people to include these practices in their everyday lives. And how do we do this? We work on what hits home with our audience. We often challenge them and ask questions. It's a good way to engage people. We also tie things to holidays. You know, is wrapping paper, what type is recyclable? Good time at Christmas. We get a lot of engagement that way, so we try and stay relevant and on trending topics. We also promote our events, Fix-It Clinics again, composting events, and other things that are going around. And then we also are now starting to work on some reels and video content for Instagram, TikTok, things like that. So that is it. I don't think I took up my full time. Caitlin was supposed to be presenting today, so any questions after that, you could direct to her, or I think many people in here have my contact information, so always happy to answer questions.